Okay, so this is the 47th outtake that I've tried to do this because I just start rambling. I feel like an idiot. This is a great introduction. So my name is Christy, and thank you if you have clicked on this video. I hope you can find something entertaining from it. I hope you can find something inspirational from it, possibly motivational. We'll just see where it goes. So I originally filmed the intro to this video that you're currently watching before the DIY project that is going to be included in this video was done. And then after I finally got the whole thing done, I realized like none of this even, it was like one of those DIYs where you think this is going to be a quick, simple fix. And then once you get into it, you're like, oh, there are problems. So if that type of thing, if you like watching hot messes and somehow you manage to like hobble it all together and make it work, then this video might be for you. Also, all further videos might be for you because for some reason I never start into a project and it just goes like glass smooth for me. When we relocated here in April. It's now October, so we've been here almost 6 months. We were looking to purchase a house that was not new. We had kind of two specific architectural styles, like eras in mind. And we got our number 2 pick. So we landed in a 1950 Ranch Rambler, and she is I just the style, the all the little neat retro finishes and the feel and just everything. So I'll kind of get into all that as we go along. I might insert a couple little clips in here, or I might include it in some of the voiceover on this video, but stay tuned because I'll be kind of sharing that was gross. Should I edit that out? I should just leave it, because if you guys can't handle that, you're probably not going to be able to handle any of the content on this channel. So stay tuned. If you love to see people just figuring things out as they go along and trying to okay, so let's jump into this, and I will do my best to insert all the important details as we go along. But let's get started, because if I don't quit messing around, I'm just going to keep recording this like a million more times, and it's never going to be perfect. So let's just get into it. So I started on this project on a Friday morning, the preparation part, the cleaning and getting everything, all the old, nasty, I guess we'll call this grout, even though I don't really truly think that's what it is. I started on it on Friday morning, and I worked on it for a couple hours, and then I had to run out mid-afternoon to an appointment. Then I came back, and I was thinking, okay, surely I can have this finished by dinner time. No, it took me until probably 9:30 on Friday night to get it completely, everything down to where I thought, okay, I can get the silicone to really make a good seal. Because the more I scraped and dug all this out, it was pretty evident that this had been just staying damp and wet, and there was not really any protection from the water just like seeping in there, because the stuff that I dug out of here was just absolutely bananas, you guys. So at this point, I know there's no turning back because I've already removed like so much of this, not to mention clearly it's not watertight or water even resistant at this point. So I knew I just had to get it all out of there. And then I started to get really frustrated because I knew that me going in and doing the silicone, the new silicone, was only going to be a temporary fix. We've discussed it, and we're not exactly for sure. We're not for sure if the best option is to have someone come in and try to make it right, or to have someone come in and we literally just rip this entire shower out and start from scratch, because I'm not against necessarily keeping it simply because it's not my style and I don't like it, but I want it to be right. A home is an investment, and as much as we have invested in this home, I don't want to just ignore a problem that is going to cause issues down the road. And water is one thing that I just feel like you just can't mess around with it. So at this point, I'm just getting really frustrated because it's taking so long, and I'm realizing that even as good as I can get it cleaned up and dried out and then go in with the silicone and try to temporarily protect it, at this point I'm understanding that this is not going to be like a one and done deal. Like, I'm going to have to go through this whole inconvenience again of emptying the whole bathroom out and having someone come and fix the shower correctly the way it should have been done the first time. Okay, so I just walked out of the big blue box. I had to come in here because I ran into like issues last night when I was trying to finish up cleaning out all of the old silicone and all of that. So I knew I needed to replace the door sweep on like the door side of the shower, but I'll show you. I'll take a little video as soon as I get home, because I'm gonna have to try to figure out some way to like temporarily make the shower usable, because I've never had the frameless glass before. I've had full glass, but the fixed side was still had a frame, and then it had like a threshold actual like for the door part, and then I've had just like no door, just like a walk-in shower, but I've never had the frameless. And so I guess I didn't realize, I mean, in hindsight, and I asked my husband last night too, in hindsight, looking back, I think both of us in the back of our mind, like the little common sense voice was like, that really doesn't look like that's how that's supposed to be. But since I had never seen one installed and I've never had one before, I didn't know. And I guess you just kind of assume that if someone paid a contractor to do work, that they did it correctly. No. So I'll show you guys what it ends up looking like when I took all of the nasty moldy silicone off. The fixed side is not actually, it's only mounted at the wall. I wonder if I can figure out how to do a little bleep, because this is the part where I want to just be like, what the actual... And of course you can't just buy like the U brackets for the bottom. And then even if I could, I'm not sure if I'd be able to find one that's thin enough where I could slide them in there. And then like I'd have to, you know, like drill my own pilot holes and all that stuff into the threshold plate. So I'm not really sure right now. Today I just want to get the rest of the shower re-siliconed at the bottom, and then I'm probably gonna have to do like some thinking or some like brainstorming on how we're gonna fix the door. The other stuff that I finally remembered to get though, you guys, I just use these in my sink like all the time, so I just like grab one like when I'm on my last one. So I've been hunting for spray paint, because I bought replacement hinges for our liquor cabinet, and I was like 1,000% sure that they would work. And of course I started to put them on there the other day because I was like, oh, this is a little project I haven't finished, and they don't fit. So I'm gonna have to take the old hinges off, paint them to match the new knobs that I bought that I really love, and there's no way I'm returning those. And anyways, and also only one ceiling fan remote out of 4 in our house currently work because all the batteries are dead. So I remembered to get batteries for the ceiling fan remotes, all of them. And then I just got some more. I got a bigger handled scraper because I found that it was actually super effective for getting all of the gunk, the soap scum, like that. I thought it looked clean, this last shower door, but I think that'll just be handy to have around the house, especially a bigger one like that, because like when I'm cleaning like the oven or stuff like that. So that's it. Let's get home. I also saw a message that I missed asking for me to pick up windshield washer fluid, but I was already like checking out, so I have to pee also though, so I kind of just want to go straight home, and then maybe I'll run out later and get windshield washer fluid. You guys needed to know that. Okay, so after I came back from getting the acrylic door sweeps, I went ahead and picked up 2 while I was at the store, because I looked and looked and looked. I could not find any other options. I asked them if they carried just like the U brackets. That was a great big fat no. So I thought maybe possibly I could take one of the acrylic door sweeps and cut just a piece of it to kind of anchor that edge of the fixed side of the glass. Because once I got all of the silicone off and I actually like got down eye level with it, I could tell that not only was it not anchored, but it also was not plumb at the threshold plate. So there was a bigger gap towards the open corner than there was at the wall. And I knew that this was probably going to be the only way that I could kind of temporarily make it more stable. So basically this is a temporary solution. I just took a piece of the acrylic door sweep and I cut it, and then I smashed the inner 2 sweeps down flat against the threshold plate and basically wedged it right in there, because previously nothing was securing the bottom of the glass except silicone. Okay, so 100% transparency. This is the only like minute and 18 seconds of video that I have of me actually applying the silicone, and that is because I almost had a tantrum about 5 times in the first 10 minutes. We had previously had to re-caulk a shower several houses ago, but my husband did it, and I could have very easily called him in from the other room right about this moment when I was like, oh my gosh, this is not turning out. But I just really wanted to figure it out on my own and get the practice doing it. That way going forward, if I have nobody around and I need to do something like this, then I know how to do it and I'm more comfortable with it. So my best tip would be, if you've never applied any type of silicone or caulk like this before, just take your time, because after working with it for about 10 or 15 minutes, I started to get the hang of the size of the bead that I needed to lay down and what was the correct pressure to use with my finger to kind of get the effect that I wanted. So I guess that would be my number 1 tip, is if you've never worked with it before, just take your time, don't be in a big rush, and don't quit. Like you'll just have to work with it, and then you'll get more comfortable, and then it definitely goes along a lot faster. Okay, so this, I don't know where this is going to be. I'm going to try to do picture in picture so I can show you the finished, like a scan of the final results. So I ended up taking all of the, whatever it was, fake grout, not shower applicable grout, I don't know what it was, but it was not okay. It was not water resistant. It wasn't anything. It wasn't made for a shower. I took all of that from the joint between the wall and the floor of the shower, the edges all around, like the door threshold, the corner seat, everything. That all got silicone on it. It's a shame that I know for a fact, just based on the home inspection, like the building permits that we've seen pulled and stuff like that, that bathroom is less than 2 years old. So we've been here for 6 months. The prior owner is the one who had the bathroom and the kitchen both remodeled, and so that bathroom is essentially less than 2 years old. There's like no way it should look like that. There's no way it should have been in that bad a shape. And I guess if I was going to get on my soapbox, it would be to say that if you are, this is not to any applicable to anyone who is DIYing their own stuff. But if you are a quote-unquote contractor, if you're calling yourself a contractor, if you are taking people's money in exchange for doing work on their home, I just think it is such a garbage move to do that quality of work. It's nuts. It's either they were not knowledgeable in the products that they were using, they weren't knowledgeable in the whole process to begin with. Sorry, my dog is helping bump the tripod. So I just think it's like absolutely asinine, for lack of a better word, that someone would call themselves a contractor and then put that quality of work into someone's home and then take their money in exchange for that work. Like, that's just nuts. I mean, I've seen DIY projects from weekend warriors that turned out like a million times better than that. So this, like I said, it'll only be a temporary fix. I know for a fact that that shower is not put together correctly. I question like what's underneath all of that. I'm assuming it's LVP. I'm assuming it's LVP tile because it has the built-in grout lines, and I've done a little bit of like diving on Google and understanding that you're not supposed to use grout like with that product the same way you would with ceramic or porcelain tile. So we have to do a little bit more kind of digging and research, and then probably our next step in there will be to actually have a licensed contractor come and give us their opinion on what is our best options as far as making it correct, making it safe as far as like water, to where we don't get damage underneath or in the walls or anything like that. The only saving grace is that 2 of those shower walls are actually exterior, essentially, because one of them backs an exterior wall to the breezeway, and the other one actually backs the garage is on the opposite side. So it's still not best case, like it's still ideal that it's not right, and it's essentially not as waterproof as it needs to be, but for now it's a temporary solution. It will keep any further water from seeping or setting in there, and then I'll have to get busy on tracking down someone reputable to come and give us their insight on what our options are and what we should do. So if you enjoyed this video, tag along, because I have some DIY room makeovers coming along, and hopefully I will be able to entertain, not necessarily inform, because I don't claim to be an expert, but hopefully you'll at least be entertained and potentially inspired to tackle your own home projects. Thanks for watching.